Okay, so today we will start with the next part of the paragraph, of the part 2, and we will be starting. We read till yesterday that everybody started greeting each other, and everybody was in the mood of a little bit of rejoice and peace, right? Nobody was in the mental situation of war, and soldiers from both the countries started celebrating the day Christmas by wishing each other, and by bringing a bottle of schnapps is a kind of German drink that is made from the grain, and there were sausages and food and everything. Okay, so they started celebrating it. So now we will read the next. So in between that war situation, the author Jim McPherson writes that in between where the entire world was fighting, we soldiers were making peace with each other on the day of Christmas. So next, coming to the next paragraph, he writes, "You cannot imagine, dearest Connie, my feelings as looked into the eyes of Fritz officer who approached me, hands outstretched. Hans Wolf," he said, gripping my hand warmly and holding it. "I am Dusseldorf. Play the cello in the orchestra. Happy Christmas." So what happens is, in this particular segment, he tells that there is a mutual exchange of greetings, and they tell that what their name is and what he does when he is not a soldier. So basically we know that these soldiers were not full time soldiers, right? So they were also having a job when they were not fighting for the country, right? So what did Dusseldorf do? Dusseldorf is from the Fritz, that is from the German side. And what did he do? And he started doing, he played in an orchestra, right? So Captain Jim introduced himself. Hans Wolf is the name given to him from the battalion, and his original name was Captain Jim McPherson. So Jim replied, "Hi, I am Captain Jim McPherson, and a happy Christmas to you too. I'm a school teacher from Dorset in the west of England." So what did when Jim was not fighting for the country, he used to teach in a school at a place named Dorset, right? Dorset is in the west of England. So then in the next paragraph entire, there is a conversation or the exchange of likes and dislikes. Okay, so what it is said that, Dorset, he smiles. "I know this place. I know very well. We shared my rum ration and excellent sausage, and we talked. Coney, how we talked. He spoke almost perfect English, but it turned out that he had never set foot in Dorset, never even been to England. He had learnt all he knew of England from the school and from reading books in English. His favorite writer was Thomas Hardy. His favorite book was Far from the Maddening Crowd. So out there in no man's land, we talked of Bathsheba and Gabriel Oak and Sergeant Troy and Dorset. He had a wife and one son, born just 6 months ago. As I looked about me, there were hurdles of khaki and grey everywhere, all over the no man's land, smoking, laughing, talking, drinking, eating. Hans Wolf and Dusseldorf shared what was left of their wonderful Christmas cake, Coney. He thought the marzipan was the best he had ever tasted. I agreed. We agreed about everything, and he was my enemy. There was a Christmas party like it, Coney. So what happened is, in this particular paragraph, from this we come to know that how similar they were as a person. Although Dusseldorf had never set his foot in Dorset, but he knew everything about England, and he spoke a very fluent English because he liked the subject and because he liked to read books, right? It was not that he, because he is a soldier, he never went to the English books. He also started loving Thomas Hardy, who is a British writer, and his favorite book was also Far from the Maddening Crowd. So this particular paragraph tells about the same thing, that how as a human being we are not different. We may belong to different country and do fight for different countries, but if we talk to another person just on the human grounds. They are not different, they are just people with the same hobbies, people with same mindset, and sometimes people with the same preferences. So this made Hans Wolf, that is Jim McPherson, very surprised that how he was his enemy. Dusseldorf was his enemy from across the border, but the viewpoint what Dusseldorf had about the world and life and his preferences, it all matched with Jim McPherson. Then someone, I don't know who, brought out football. Great coats were dumped in piles. So what happened is, the next thing, they played a match, right? They played football matches. Okay, so when they started playing football matches, it was a friendly match. It was not some sort of enemy, it was not some sort of competition or such. It was just a friendly match to pass a time. So there was this Jim McPherson, obviously belonging from England. He liked to have a cricket match. But then gradually what happened is, everybody voted in, and everybody wanted to play football. So what they did is, they opened their grey coats, the warm clothing that they had, and made a pile, made a hill like structure, and it was used as a goal post. So in that football match, what happened was, this Fritz won. Fritz means this German soldiers won in the football match. Coney Fritz won. Then next he tells, the time came, and all too soon, when the game was finished, and the snaps and the rum and the sausage had long since run out, and we knew it was all over. I wished Hans well, and told him I hoped he would see his family again soon, and the fighting would end, and we could go all home. So this from this particular paragraph, we can see that it was that these soldiers also did not want to fight with each other, and they also wanted the war to end very quickly. It was not their choice to fight the war, but they were fighting it on behalf of their country, and they wanted it to end it as soon as it possible. And gradually with this with and gradually the entire day came to an end. Their snaps also ran out, and the sausage also ran out, and they wanted to talk more, but they wanted to converse more, but the day ultimately came to an end, and both of them wished that the war should end soon, and we should very quickly go and meet our own families. I think that is what every soldier wants on both the sides, Hans Wolf said. Take care, Jim McPherson. I shall never forget this moment, nor you. He saluted and walked away from me slowly. Unwillingly, I felt. He turned to wave just once, and then became one of the hundreds of grey-coated men drifting backwards toward their trenches. So after this day, everybody went back to their own countries and to their own borders, and were back on their duty. So ultimately he said that Dusseldorf said that, I think that nobody wants the war to continue, and he says to Jim McPherson that you should always take care, and I will never forget this moment. I will neither forget this moment, nor I will forget you as a person. And he laughed, and again, for just a moment and just for a day, he became an individual, right? Apart from the duty dress and the nation, by a nation feeling of nationalism, he became an individual. But when the day ends, he again goes and mixes up and becomes one of the soldiers. He loses his identity as a person or as a Dusseldorf in front of their duty. He becomes the part of a crowd. That night, back in our dugouts, we heard them singing a carol, and singing it quite beautifully. It was still night and silent night. Our boys gave them a rousing chorus of While Shepherds Watched. We exchanged carols for a while and then we all fell silent. We had had our time of peace and goodwill, a time we'll treasure as long as I live. Dearest Coney, by Christmas next year, this war will be nothing but a distant and terrible memory. I know from all that happened today how much both armies long for peace. We shall be together again soon. I'm sure of it. Your loving Jim. So at the end, he says that by the next year of the Christmas, this war will end. This war will come to an end and we will all be home. And what did they do at the end of the day? They sang different hymns and carols. Carols are songs that is specially made for the time of the Christmas. Okay, so they sang to each other, they greeted each other. From the Frith side, they sang Still Night, that is Silent Night, that is a Christmas carol. And from this, the Tommies also sang While Shepherds Watched. Both them sang carols, and after a while everybody fell silent and went back to their normal duties. We had, and this particular piece of day was their stealing from the war, right? And to Jim McPherson, this is a very fond memory of the war, apart from all the terror and grim. And he wishes, and he tells to Coney that by Christmas next year Christmas, this war will be a distant and terrible memory and it will get over. And only thing that I will remember from this war is this Christmas day. Thank you. This is all for the second part. In the next class or in the next video lesson, we will be going to the third part and its explanation. And I hope everybody can, because everybody has their book, I hope everybody will do their comprehension check questions that is given in the PPT, that is given, right? Everybody should be doing this comprehension check questions. Find out this comprehension check questions from your from the part 2 and find the answers and write it on your own. Thank you.